Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegramnews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegramnews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegramnews.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegramnews.com.
Check it out.
Well, this one came from a request from our radio guys, and I did just talk about how we work with kids, but I also am a single dating woman, and that inspires a lot of my music too. And since we are on a radio station, I'm gonna edit myself. I'm gonna sing a clean version for you all here.
Do you think "Gosh Darn" will fit in there?
I'm gonna see how I do. I'm gonna be good. Johnny drives a race car, speeds down city streets. Yeah, he's running all the red lights. He's catching all the heat. He's got a glove box full of tickets and a danger in his eye. And if you get into his car, there's a chance you're gonna die. I said, hold on. I said, hold on. Johnny drives a speedboat. He roars across the river, yeah, he's cutting through the quiet. He's splashing all the swimmers, and if you're gonna ride along, you better hold on to your ass. There's only one speed Johnny knows, and that's really frickin' fast. I said, hold on. I said, hold on. Johnny, you're just a big streak of blue. How am I ever gonna catch you? Johnny had a date last night. He came to pick me up. Yeah, he pulled up in the front in a souped-up pickup truck, and I was lacing up my boots. Said, I'll only be a minute. He said, girl, time is of the essence. He pulled away without me in it. I said, hold on. I said, hold on. Johnny, you're just a big streak of blue. How am I ever gonna catch you? Johnny drives a rocket ship. He's shooting to the sun, yeah, he's blasting through the atmosphere. So long, everyone. He's got the thrusters, they're engaged. He's got the boosters at full blast. There's only one speed Johnny knows, and that's really frickin' fast. I said, hold on. And he said, so long. Johnny, you're just a big streak of blue. How am I ever gonna catch you? Ooh. Johnny, you're just a big streak of blue. I guess I'm never gonna catch you.
All right. Well, good morning and welcome to the morning show. That was our good friend Megan B. from the Homegrown Happy Hour.
That's right.
Which was filmed last week at Rowdy's Smokehouse. And the great news about that, John?
It's coming this Thursday, too.
It's coming this Thursday. And even better news, you can watch what you just watched live tonight, starting tonight.
Oh, cool.
And so you can watch that on YouTube or what else, James? I'm sorry. I have the worst time with this stuff.
Yeah, you can watch the video on YouTube and you can listen to it on any podcast provider. So that's
right.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And of course, it will be on the Total Media Radio app as well. Just click that podcast tab, but we will share links on Facebook tonight.
Okay, so we will share, and that will be out at 7 tonight. Megan is a doll. We had such a good time with her. Of course, Ben Davis Jr. as the host for the Homegrown Happy Hour, and had a really good time. I love that we're doing a series of 4 concerts.
Right.
And each artist is so different. And Megan is kind of a folksy storyteller and just adorable. She's out of the Athens area, and you'll really enjoy her. She's a good soul.
She sounds like it and looks like it, and she reminds me a lot of Joni Mitchell.
She
in
does,
her style.
and she it was so funny because we were sitting there, and I said, "There's a lot of Jewel in there," and someone said, "Oh, she warmed up with a Jewel song," and about that time she took off on a Jewel song. I'm like,
Okay, there you are.
She's got that whole yodeling thing down pat, and
right.
yeah, she's
Okay.
really got a Joni Mitchell, Jewel kind of vibe going on. So you'll really enjoy it. So make sure you tune in tonight. This week's Homegrown Happy Hour, Morgan Washam will be the guest, and you want to talk about another local talent that's
I know, and he's
so good.
He's such a super songwriter as well as
Yes.
a musician, and I think that you can tell when you listen to Morgan, you can tell that everything comes from within. So he's a true musician.
He totally is, and he's such just a big presence anyway. And then
Yeah.
when he, starts picking his guitar and singing, then he just really commands your attention. But so we'll look forward to that this coming Thursday at Rowdy's. So, all right, well, our good friend John Boy is in the house, and you are here to promote something that is so very cool, near and dear to your heart, but also such a good fundraiser for kids in our community.
That's right. It's our Rock for Tots, remembering the 60s. We're gonna attempt it again this year. And we've changed
I love how you say attempt it, like you can't do it.
And you can see we've changed a little bit. It's remembering Bart and the 60s.
Yes.
Of course, Bart was a big part of this show. And we're going to attempt it, of course, not necessarily without him. I know he'll be with us, but this will be also for Bart. It's a little different this year. As some people know, many people did not know, is that one of the things that Bart did was that he was an advocate for local talent, local music.
Very much.
I know he would be absolutely ecstatic about the Homegrown show because that was one of his dreams for a long time. And if you remember, he was trying to do something or start something like that, and then the pandemic hit. And then Bart decided, well, what I'll do instead is every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, he got on his phone and he did a little show. And
yes, his own show.
To promote, local musicians. And local musicians joined him. He did some of them at their houses. I mean, that was one of his big dreams. So, and another one was he was an advocate for those who needed some encouragement. So he started his own music school.
Yes.
Initially, he called it, a school of rock.
The School of Rock.
But,
if you've all seen the movie.
Right. But it's now called the Sonic Rhythm Academy. It's part of Bart's foundation that his wife, Megan Wiseman, set up.
Yes.
And every year he would teach either 12, 15, 16 kids at no charge to come in and teach them to play music. And then at the end of their sessions, at the end of the year, their school year, they would have a concert. The first concert was held at Hope Haven School and their gym. And this year, the class of 2022 was at Pride Park at the gazebo. And
Great.
I was, of course, part of that, not helping, but helping Bart not teach. He wouldn't dare let me teach them what I know. And then so...
or what you don't know, right? What he would tell you don't know.
But anyway, it was such a blessing to see how much they've grown musically over that year's period of time. Well, what we're going to do this year for Remembering Bart in the 60s, we're going to open up with his Sonic Rhythmic Academy, a class of 2022.
Love that.
They're going to take the stage and they're going to play 2 songs.
Wow.
So they're going to be able to go on stage. And so we're hoping that this year we'll sell out again. We can pack the house for them. And because as I was talking with on the morning show with Matt and Porterhouse, I was mentioning that, I mean, music, what keeps a musician alive is being able to make music.
Sure.
But what inspires them is the feedback, is the live audience.
Yes.
And you actually start to grow. And I'm hoping that, when these kids get up there and they get this response, that it will sort of plant a seed and we'll get some more local musicians.
That's right.
In our area. So it will also be all the ticket sales will go to Rock for Tots.
Yes.
And that's Paul Pollard's Rock for Tots, and he'll be there. And what he does is that he also, we'll give him what we raise from the ticket sales, and then he, of course, adds to that, much more to that, and he will be giving money to the Wellston Fire Department and their toy drive, to Jaffe and their toy drive, and he'll be giving money to the Gear Grinders for their toy drive. And this will be seed money to help, make sure they get more money. And then we'll have an auction, and all of the auction dollars will go to Bart's Foundation and the Sonic Rhythm Academy.
Great.
So we're hoping that people come out and open their wallets a little bit and buy something cool and be part of the auction. Now, the auction will not be long. We don't want it to draw out too long, but it'll have some really neat stuff that they can buy. So anyway, come out and support the old guys. They'll prop us up on stage a little before 7, and then we'll have at it.
No, this is always such a fun event, and you need to stop because you guys are awesome. And but no, I think that's really cool. You've added like an entirely new additional aspect to your concert, and that's wonderful. Could you talk for a minute? I know Paul's not here, and I know you don't want to speak for him, but about Paul Pollard and the Rock for Tots, and like how, because my gosh, he does so much. And Paul is such a good dude. If you've ever been to a local festival, I'm sure you've seen Paul. You don't know, maybe you've seen Paul, but he does all the sound and has a company that...
He did the sound for the Apple Festival, of course. He does sound for our Ohio Hill Country Festival.
Yes.
He does sound for area festivals and fairs.
Yes.
And different events. But this started, it's probably been 30-some years ago that Paul started this Rock for Tots, and it's just grown and grown and grown. He actually gives money not to 31 different agencies.
Yeah.
He gives.
So think of that, like how big
31,
this is.
31 different agencies, and also he does give out music scholarships too. So not only will he has always given to Jackson County anyway. And one of the reasons why we did the Remembering the 60s is sort of to pay forward, so that our agencies here that are trying to do Christmas drives could get more.
Sure.
But when he first started this, he and I have been friends for that long. He would do the concert, he would buy the toys, and then he would deliver them. But it's gotten so huge now that he actually gives it to different agencies. He gives money to what is it called? To different sporting programs through churches.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He also does Big Brothers and Big Sisters contributions. There are several, including our local women's shelters, that he provides funding for. The agencies that he helps goes on and on and on. And he will do his Rock for Tots concert. And normally it follows ours, which is later in November.
Okay.
And he will do that concert, and they do a concert in an auction, but it lasts for hours. And they have all kinds of different musicians, and bands can even put themselves up for auction. They'll play, and someone can bid, and if they are able to get the highest bid, that band will play at their event. Like if you have an upcoming event, a wedding, or whatever it's going to be, you can go there and bid on a band if you like them, and whatever the bid is, they'll come and play.
Love that.
So anyway, he's been doing this for years and years and years, and he's an incredible man.
He is, and a lot of people don't realize Paul has recording studios set up here in our area that a lot of pretty famous people come and record, and you'd never know it.
It's called the Recording Workshop, and believe it or not, it was started by also a good friend of mine, Joe Waters, and Joe passed away way too early, and Paul stepped in and runs it for them, for the family. But this Recording Workshop, they do two things: they do record, but they also teach recording and producing, and they have people who come from all over the world who come there to learn to be recording engineers, whatever, and then
and that's like in Chillicothe, right?
That's in Masseyville.
Masseyville. Where's Masseyville?
Masseyville is south of Chillicothe.
Okay. it's around the Chillicothe area.
Yeah, it's around. Go to Chillicothe and turn south on 23 to Masseyville. And it's a complex. It's a beautiful complex. They've built a studio. There's housing because some of the people from out of the country come in and they stay.
So it's a huge deal, and a lot of people don't know it exists.
Right. It's a wonderful thing. So Paul has been doing music and promoting music and helping all of his life, and he's just a good man.
Just a good dude.
He really is. He really is.
Yeah. And he's fun. He's fun to talk to. And so if you haven't gotten to meet him, introduce yourself. You'll see him running around at any local venue. So, well, cool. Okay. So let's get back to your concert, Remembering the 60s, and Bart, of course.
Right.
Not in that particular order. But tell us when it is, how do you get tickets, all that stuff.
Okay. That's what I should do, isn't it?
I mean, kind of while you're here.
I'm glad you asked. This will be on Friday, November the 18th at 7 o'clock at the Marquee. And you can buy your tickets right now by going online. You can actually go to the Marquee box office, too. They open at noon, I believe.
Okay. And
up till 4 or 5. You can stop by and buy your tickets there. You can go online at marqueetickets.org or marqueejackson.com and go to tickets. And when you click on tickets, it'll go to the different events. And you click on Remembering 60's. And you can buy your tickets right there.
Very good.
Right now, the Wellston Fire Department has tickets that they're selling, and we're trying to right now get tickets to Jaffe and to the Gear Grinders. Hopefully, they'll have those soon.
Okay. And do you get to pick your own seat?
No. You buy your ticket and just come early and pick your seat.
Well, there's not a bad seat, so it doesn't matter where you sit. But
it actually holds 280, I think, or so.
Yeah.
And that's not a large venue. It's a wonderful venue. So no matter where you sit, you'll have it's a good seat. So.
Absolutely, and a lot of fun, and for, of course, an amazing cause.
Right, it is. And we must also remind everyone that part of our ticket sales not only goes to Rock for Tots, but also part of that goes back to the Marquee Theater.
Yes.
The band, we don't make anything because we figured out how much we were worth and we came up with that zero number. So we're giving the ticket sales to the Marquee and for Rock for Tots. To promote, it'll help, of course, keep the Marquee going.
Sure.
And then also for Rock for Tots, and then the auction will be for the Bart Wiseman Foundation and his Sonic Rhythm Academy. So,
do you have any idea of some of the auction items, just to give a little teaser there?
Yeah, Megan is putting that together, but I do know we will have a Ohio State football autographed by Ryan Day.
What? Cool.
Yeah. So we already have that one. And so there might be a guitar or two. And
there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. And if Megan has anything to do with it, it'll be really cool, too.
And I'll try to come in a week or so before, and we'll maybe go through all that. And also we've had some of the local musicians who I think are going to show up and help with part of it. Ben Davis Jr., I know, will be there. And,
we love our Ben.
Andy Milliken will be there.
Yes.
We've talked. I know Morgan Washam and Jason Hogue will be there. They are the instructors for the academy. They're going to be there, and I would say quite a few of them will jump up on stage from time to time. So,
and that's the cool thing about it. You know, our local musicians all banding together for good and just having a lot of fun along the way too.
That's right. And the only thing about it is that I've talked to each one of them and. I'd say something like, well, here's the day we practice. And they say, practice?
What do you mean practice? We just play.
Practice? What's that mean? We old guys have to practice. But no, it's in fun, and we'll have a good time.
Very good. Now let's talk about who will be playing with you up on the stage. When you say you old guys, even though you're not that old.
Well, most of us are. I can remember back when, we wanted long hair, and now we're just longing for hair. Myself, of course, then John Jones. Mm-hmm. John Jones and David Leach.
Yes.
Now, David Leach, John Jones, and I, we've been playing music together since the 60s.
A few years.
Yeah, for a few years. And then we'll be joined by Craig Klein. We call him Dr. Klein.
Yes.
Professor Klein. He's a real professor, doctor.
He really is. Yeah. Like on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, and he'll be on keyboards and he'll join us, as well as hopefully some of Bart's friends. So
that will be great.
And there'll be quite a few. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we actually have queued up a little taste of some of the prior performances.
And of course this is a little difficult for me to watch, but these two songs feature Bart. And
correct, because he was such a part of the concert.
And this video occurred during the pandemic. What happened was we had the concert, and then we were going to have it again, and then pandemic struck. So with the help of James Hamilton,
yay, James,
we were able to go to the Marquee and play. And James did all the heavy lifting on the video. We had help from
Kyle.
Kyle.
My friend Kevin helped us out. Yeah. Kevin Jones.
He put it all together. And then what we did was there was not going to be a Rock for Tots concert, but there was going to be a virtual concert.
Yes.
So we submitted several songs, and they played them during their online Rock for Tots that year. So
yes.
And we got permission from the Marquee to record it at the Marquee.
Yes.
So it was our contribution to Rock for Tots that year. And again, he sent money to all of our local toy drives.
That's right. So thank you, Paulie, for thinking of our communities as well. Well, let's head on out.
Which song do you want to play first, John?
Yeah, which song do you want to play first,
Let's
John?
do No Particular Place to Go. That's one of the ones I know that Bart had a fun time with. So
that sounds good, and just a little taste of Bart and you all having a good time.
Yeah, okay.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile. My curiosity running wild. Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go. Riding along in my automobile, I'm anxious to tell her the way I feel. I told her softly and sincere. She leaned and whispered in my ear, cuddling, driving and moving slow, with no particular place to go. Place to go. We parked way out on the Kokomo. The night was young and the moon was gold. We both decided to take a stroll. Can you imagine the way I felt? I couldn't have fastened a safety belt. Riding along in my automobile, still trying to get her seatbelt loose. All the way home I held a grudge for the safety belt that would not budge. Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
There you go. And while we miss our sweet Bart, that what a good tribute to him. And you can see him up there on that stage doing what he did. That's awesome.
And of course, as I say, we worked at it, and it was just effortless for him.
He just showed up. It's like, what? If y'all want to practice cool, I'll see you on the other side.
I know, and I understand, and we understood that. So, but he would always be there for us. He'd always encourage us, and try to keep the old guys pumped up. So, and I do, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to go forward with this, because that was one of the things Bart was adamant about, is that you guys need to keep going. So.
Yeah. Was there actually a question that you might not do your concert?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, there was. I mean,
he would be really angry with you if you didn't.
Probably, and it's difficult. It's hard to describe. I know it's difficult for me. It's difficult for Connie. It's difficult for the family. I mean, but then again, but we're going to be doing some things that Bart would want us to do. So
correct.
And even though it's not going to be easy, we're going to be raising money for his academy.
Yep.
And we're going to be raising money for Rock for Tots. But more importantly, we're going to be making some music. So.
Yes, and it's going to be fun.
Yes, and it is fun. I have to tell you, everybody that comes really enjoys it and has a good time. So.
And we love to hear that. And so you all, when it's, of course, Rock for Tots and remembering the 60s concert, and of course, Bart, what will be some of the songs that folks can hear along the way?
Oh, my.
All the sing-along stuff, right?
Yeah, we'll be doing some Beatles, of course, Rolling Stones, Kinks, things like that. We've always had a request, and it's for, even though it's not the 60s or the 50s, they want the twist and some other songs, that they remember. Hang On, Sloopy.
Sure.
Can't Get No Satisfaction. Some of the songs that we grew up with, even do Not My Stepping Stone, the Monkees song, which is difficult to do because I was never a Monkees fan.
You just shut your dirty mouth. Davy Jones was a bomb.
So anyway, but
I used to watch reruns as a little girl and be like, "Oh, Davy Jones,
okay,
he's so cute."
That's probably why we didn't like it. I was probably jealous.
Yeah, probably all you guys
then,
are like, "Forget Davy Jones."
I know. So just a lot of the '60s songs. So some of the old standards, Mustang Sally and that type of thing. But
love it.
But there'll be some songs probably you haven't heard for a long, long time.
And that's the cool part about this. And this is what's so neat about the Marquee is the diversity that you get amongst the artists and different performances. And, we just came off of the play this weekend and phenomenal. And then you have music. You had the drummers last weekend, I think it was. And, just so many different things. And that's what the Marquee is all about. And such a great venue for our area and for raising money and doing great things.
Yeah, there are other venues that we could do this, but we have always chose to do it at the Marquee because it benefits the Marquee. I mean, we want to keep that going.
That's right. So, and then don't forget that there will be some guest performances as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. And this will be November 18th. So you still have a little bit of time to get your tickets.
Yeah, I have about 4 weeks still.
Yeah, a little under.
And we'll keep reminding everybody to get their tickets. And I do suggest that if this is something you want to do, check your calendar quick and get your tickets because it has sold out. And we're hoping it sells out again.
We are. And again, at the end of the day, you're helping local organizations. And more importantly, you're helping kids that might not have that much for Christmas. Because Paul, in divvying up his Rock for Tots money, does help our local organizations that help kids, whether it be Jaffe or the Gear Grinders or whomever it may be.
And I know all of these local organizations that provide toys for kids, they've already started. I mean, and it's a lot of work involved where they take the applications, they do the screening, and most of these organizations deliver the toys so that the kids get the toys. I mean, it's not something that mom and dad picks up and somehow doesn't make it home. They just make sure that the kids have toys for Christmas.
And that's the whole point.
That's right.
Because no kid should not have something for Christmas.
That's true. And that happens. Unfortunately,
it does.
It shouldn't, but it happens.
Yeah.
So, and I've been part of that, and sometimes it's just difficult, but you give them toys and you breaks your heart because of where they are, but that's just the way it is. And so we got to make sure that everybody who has a Christmas tree or wants a Christmas tree has toys to go with it.
Love that.
Okay.
Very good. Hey, speaking of Christmas, did you know that a Christmas Story sequel is coming out?
Really?
November 17th or 18th, I think.
Okay.
It's going to go to, I think, HBO Max, and they have a preview. Like, they have a trailer out now, but it's... Ralphie is all grown up, Peter Billingsley, of course, and Ralphie is, I think, dealing with his family for Christmas and trying to make sure they have a good Christmas, as you can imagine. So the funny part about Peter Billingsley is he looks exactly the same.
Does he really? Bigger.
Yeah, like an adult version of Ralphie. It's so bizarre. Like if you see him, you're like, I know exactly who you are.
Now that's a tradition at our house. 2 movies. Actually 3, and it's not Christmas without them. And one of them is The Christmas Story. And I have to tell you that our household has that movie memorized.
Yes.
Memorized. And it's still funny to this day.
Why is that?
Classics are classics. I mean, it's just wonderful.
They are. And yeah, there's a lot of classic stuff in Christmas movies for sure. So, well, speaking of classics, I think we have one more of your songs featuring Bart.
Yeah, this is this is House of the Rising Sun, and this song probably couldn't be done any better by anybody.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm sorry for everybody else out there.
I agree. I send Megan a message every so often, and it'll pop on the radio, and I'm like, I'm just thinking of Bart the entire time because he nails this song.
He really
just
does.
Nails it.
And keep in mind, there's no audience. Well, I mean, James was a good audience, but
good job, James.
He wasn't.
If you hear someone in the background go, woo, that was me.
That was you. And this particular song was one take.
Wow. Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Now, the ones that I did was several takes, but this was one take. And, well, I think all Bart's songs were one take. But it's, I mean, just check it out. It's great.
Absolutely. So let's get to it. You're going to enjoy.
In New Orleans, where they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother she sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down on New Orleans. The only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's all drunk. ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I would really challenge someone to find a better version of that song.
I know, and it's
nailed it.
He nailed it. That's true.
Yeah,
he nailed it. So, but anyway, it's. Don't forget, remember in the 60s, we'll talk about that more later on, okay?
That's right. So we do have a couple of things we wanted to plug while we're talking about music.
Okay.
Something I know Bart probably would have loved is the first annual Moonville Music Festival coming up this Saturday at the Benton County Fairgrounds. And that is brought to you by the Hamden Fire Department and I think some of their law enforcement there, things like that. And it's just going to be a day chock full of a lot of fun. They're going to have the Ohio State game on. Again, it's called the Moonville Music Festival, but don't get confused. It's at the Benton County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
So don't get confused about that.
Okay.
But it is this coming Saturday, October 22nd, and they will have the Ohio State game on a big screen there.
15-foot screen.
A
Woo-hoo.
ginormous screen. Camping, food trucks, adult beverages. I know Classic Brands will be there. 6 Cents will be there with some brews as well. And then, of course, live music performances by James Reed, Darren Hackard. Is that how do I say that? I hope I didn't mess that up. Dwayne Napper, and of course, the featured musical entertainment of the evening is, like to say, local grown band McGuffey Lane.
McGuffey Lane.
They've been playing for a few years as
yes.
well.
Oh, yes.
Yep. So you probably grew up kind of with the McGuffey Lane era of... because I think they played, in the 70s, started playing. I know John Schwab said he started playing with them, I believe, in the 70s. But McGuffey Lane came out of, Athens? And it was a road where one of the guys lived.
Yeah, it's McGuffey Lane is a patented name because they've been around for a long time, recognizable, and, of course, they always draw a great crowd.
They do.
They do. And, yes, I remember McGuffey Lane.
Yep. So local
They probably
local
don't
band
remember
does
me,
well.
but I remember them.
Well, no, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As far as I know, Saturday looks like it's going to be decent weather
It's supposed to
so-
be really nice.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the 70s again.
Yeah, that would be
All
great.
right. Be
How
perfect.
did we land 2 weekends in a row like that?
I don't know.
That
but I'll
doesn't
take
happen
it.
in Ohio.
I don't know. I'll take it.
That's right. Absolutely. So again, Moonville Music Festival at the Benton County Fairgrounds.
That's right.
It's not at Moonville, so don't get confused on that. This coming Saturday. It's going to be just a day full of fun and, of course, brought to you by Benton County Sheriff's Office, the Hamden Fire Department, a whole lot of other people. You can buy tickets here at Total Media, or you can visit Eventbrite.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a website where you can go and buy tickets and look up Moonville Music Festival, and you can check that out. And don't say we don't have anything going on this in the area, because October is chock full.
It is.
My goodness.
Chock full of goodies.
Chock full of goodies.
And probably should mention that stay on music, because again this Thursday night it's going to have some more homegrown stuff too.
That's right, homegrown happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of things to touch on with that, John. And we heard Megan B play right off the rip this morning, and she was the guest last week. Of course, homegrown happy hour hosted by Ben Davis Jr., and that is at Rowdy's every Thursday starting at 7 p.m. So that performance from last week is going to launch live tonight on our YouTube channel, Total Media YouTube channel. And the great thing about that is you get to see the video part of it as well.
Right.
You can, of course, listen live, but you can listen to the audio on any of the podcast apps. But you get to see the video on YouTube, which is really, really cool.
And it's really good. And this, I've been very impressed. I was anxious to see it, and it's been excellent. So
very good.
One of my favorite moments from Megan's concert last week, she played a song called Andy, and she told the story behind it, that it was a part of her songwriter's workshop where they were given the task to write a song with a name in it.
Yes.
And so after the song, Ben told a story about how his dad doesn't like songs with names in it because he said, well, it feels like you're only talking to that person. You're not talking to me. And Megan looks at Ben Davis Jr. and says, what's your dad's name?
It was really funny.
And it's a pretty good moment.
And then he said, Ben Davis Sr. But yeah, she was like, I wrote a song. I was in this workshop, and they gave us a task to write a name. And she's like, I've never heard a song about a guy named Andy, so I wrote a song about Andy.
There you go.
So yeah, she was super cute. But Morgan Washam, the guest this coming week, and you and I talked a little bit earlier in the show about Morgan, but such a musical talent, big presence. And
he writes some wonderful things. So
he does.
You'll enjoy his original music. Of course, he'll do some other stuff that I know you'll enjoy as well.
Yep.
But I mean, Morgan Washam has been writing songs for a long time. Way back when I was in radio, he's been on the show with me several times. We played his songs. He's just an incredible dude. So it's going to be worth your while to hang out with him on Thursday.
I agree with that. And there's songwriters that just write songs, and that's great, and they're super creative and whatever. But then there's songwriters that it all comes, as you said, from within. Mm-hmm. And I think that so many of Morgan's songs are about his life and experiences and things, and that's what makes him so special. It's the only reason people like Jimmy Buffett. He can't sing for a lick, but all of his songs are about some story that he's lived or whatever, and it's interesting.
And keep in mind too that when it comes to, I found anyway, when it comes to songwriters, musicians, but more so songwriters, they're not necessarily on the same page as the entire world. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's because sometimes, in artists, painters, songwriters, they have a hard time with the world because they see more and more affects them than it does most people, because we're so centered on ourselves. And if you're an artist, you're not so much centered on yourself. It's, and you're seeing and you're living and you're sensing more than anybody else.
Everything around you is so vibrant, and you're trying to soak it all in. And you're right; it would be a lot for your brain to process.
And keep in mind too that there, in songwriting is just sometimes songs come over a period of years, and sometimes they come in an instant. I remember when Bob Dylan was up against the wall because he was supposed to produce an album and he hadn't done it. So he went in the studio and he pumped out all this great music, just boom, 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 on this Blonde album, I think it was. So songwriters, it just, when it starts to come, it just comes, and look out.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not kidding. And, we've talked, I think probably somebody that's been here on the program and talked about their personal experiences a lot is our good friend, Ben Davis Jr. And he said the very same thing, I wrote this song because I was, driving down the road from work one night, and it was midnight, and my brain was just, and it just spewed out as I was driving, or, woke up at 2 a.m. With this one, I worked on for 3 years because I couldn't get it right, and you just never know.
I know.
Pretty cool stuff.
But anyway, you're going to enjoy it, and this, our homegrown happy hours that they're having there at Rowdy's, gives everybody a chance to realize just how many wonderful artists and musicians we do have right in our own backyard.
That's what I love. This first one put together as a 4-time series, and as we said, each artist is so different. And it's funny, like even Jamie and I were talking about it. He was like, well, I can't wait for, this person. And I was like, well, I can't wait for this person. And didn't realize that we had such different, thoughts about it. And so, yeah, there's something for everybody.
Check it out.
Check it out. This coming
Thursday.
Saturday. Or Friday. Thursday. Gosh.
Check it out.
Check it out.
There's so much going on, it's hard to remember the day, right?
Thank you. Like, my goodness. So yeah, lots and lots of great things going on. All right, so John, let's recap your Remembering Bart and the 60's concert, which will be coming up here in November.
That'll be on a Friday, November the 18th. It'll be at 7 o'clock at the Marquee, and tickets are now on sale. So you can go to the Marquee box office.
Yes.
And buy your tickets. I think they open at noon during the week.
Yeah, I think so.
And they'll be there until 4 or 5 o'clock. Then you can also go online. You can go to the Marquee's website. You can go to marqueetickets.org or go to marqueejackson.com.
Yes.
And just make sure you get to the tickets tab and click on the tickets, and it'll take you to the different events. Click on the Remembering 60's event and buy your tickets right there.
You've got it, and so that way, and get them early because, as John said earlier, y'all have sold out of both performances that you've done live. So
right, I know already. I mean, we just started tickets, but there's 100 that's gone.
Okay.
So there's only 280 seats, which makes a wonderful venue for everybody watching.
Yep.
So get your tickets now.
Yep, get them now, and then you'll have a guaranteed seat for sure.
Okay.
So. Hey, how did the the Ohio Hill Country Festival go?
It went very well. We had great weather.
Sorry.
Great entertainment. Really, really good food, and we had a wonderful ride company this year, and so it went very well. We were blessed with wonderful weather, and it was a success. So,
and it really is rough with those festivals because you're very, very dependent on the weather. And I know the Jaffe Committee was blessed with really good weather here in Jackson for the Apple Festival this year as well. Pumpkin Show heading off this week in Circleville. So lots and lots of great things going on.
They'll have good weather too.
Should have good weather, yeah. So I don't know.
I think it kicks off today.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. If you haven't been to the Pumpkin Festival, it's a dilly.
It's big one.
My goodness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they called us from one of the local restaurants there, and they were like, "Hey, we want to go ahead and stock up on beer for the Pumpkin Festival. Can you bring it?" And Jamie's like, "What?" And I was like, "You better go early in the week because you're not going to deliver it later in the week.
That's
I promise you that."
Oh yeah, you won't get in.
I don't even know how you would get to where it is we need to go because there's so many people. But pumpkin everything. If you're a pumpkin fan, get to the festival this week.
Good food, good fun.
Yes.
Just a good time for the whole family.
Parades every day.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of great things. So, yep. So what else is going on with you? We have a few minutes to spare. Are you did you get through that ginormous honeydew list that Connie gave you?
I've had some success. Did I get all the way through it? No.
But you're still here?
I'm still here. It continues to grow, so I don't think I'll ever get all the way through it. But she's very gracious. She knows that I'm so slow and old. So I have become, she calls Tim the tool man, so I've been able to do some fixing things.
That's great.
It kind of amazes me, but...
Could you come out to my house? I have a few things that need some fixing.
No guarantees, though.
Do you know how to install a thermostat? Because I could put you to work, too.
So, and I've been enjoying it, my retirement. Of course, I'm still really busy, but I'm not used to not getting up at 3:45 and going, go.
Right.
So it's gradually evolved to 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, and what I enjoy the most about it is I don't have to hit the floor running.
Yeah.
And I can actually sit and drink a whole cup of coffee.
Yeah. For
Really.
sure. Like, wow.
Right, yeah.
That's novel.
So, and that's probably what I enjoy the most is, but I'm still kind of crazy busy. But
I was going to say, I mean, you hit the ground running, just not at 3:45 in the morning now.
no, yeah, but it's there are a lot of things to do, with church, and I'm still doing a lot of charity work. And
You do.
So, trying to do other things as well.
And then did a little birdie tell me you're selling some real estate as well?
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody about it, and let me tell you why. As this came as a surprise to the world, because you have to study and take a test.
You do.
And I thought, I don't want to tell anybody I'm going to do this, because if I flunk the test, then I got to fess up, But no, and I took the test, and of course I had Donna Summers of Donna Summers Realty. She sponsored me, so that I could take the test, and I took the test, and I'm working there, and so.
In your spare time, right?
In my spare time, and someone asked me the other day, said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm a big fat failure. I haven't sold anything yet, but that will change by the end of the day, hopefully." So.
Hey, there you go.
So anyway, but it's fun. It's. I get to do what I like to do. Be with people and.
Yes.
And the crew there at Donna Summers Realty, and it's a blatant plug, but they're just wonderful people.
Yeah.
And they have to be to put up with me and help me. And
whatever.
So I get tons of help from Donna, and for Amanda Peterson, who is also a realtor who makes sure that I'm doing everything correctly, and she shows me what to do. Called her in the 7 o'clock last night because I was online to fix something, and she helped me do it. So I'm just blessed. I mean, I'm doing 2 churches now, not one.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm preaching and pastoring at the Wilkesville Presbyterian as well as Wellston now.
How are you in 2 places at once?
Well, you have to be. I'm at Wilkesville first, then I drive back to Wellston.
Okay.
So, and we'll see how well that goes this winter.
Ooh, it's cold.
Yeah. And but anyway, I'm really enjoying it. So I'm very blessed. I was blessed to be in broadcasting because I liked what I did.
Yeah.
And I like what I'm doing now. So.
Hey, that's what it's all about, John.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. When one retires, you can't just go and sit on your bum.
I
have to go do something.
I thought seriously about that.
Well, you can do that for a little while.
Yeah,
just to rest
seriously. Every once in a while, I think to myself, "Boy, John, you really messed up. You could have been sitting somewhere,
just like
soaking up the sun."
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I'm enjoying myself. So
good. That's the whole point.
And Connie keeps me straight and.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I had no doubt that she would.
Keeps me dressed well, and I'm doing okay.
So you match and all that. No blue socks with black shirts and all that.
Right. I pass inspection when she's there. So
yeah, you have to do
when she's not
twirl
there,
around
on my own.
Well, very good. Well, we're so happy that you spent your morning with us.
Well, thank
you so much.
And I appreciate your help in helping me get the word out for our Remembering the 60's and our Remembering Bart in the 60's concert coming up.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate that.
Absolutely. And again, proceeds going to Rock for Tots, which helps, kids and organizations in our area at Christmas time, and also the Sonic Rhythm Academy, which is Bart's foundation, also helping children in our area, teaching them music, teaching them the love of it. And I think that's so wonderful.
It is. Excellent.
So. All right. Well, have a great day. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You all have a great day over there,
Don't
too.
Don't forget, lots going on in October.
Lots going on in October. We cannot forget that. And, pumpkins and mums and pumpkin rolls and all that, too. So
Gotcha.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.